All right, so I want to show you a couple other little things before we do the boundary. What I want to do is I want to get rid of some of these triangles up here. So just really more to show you how to remove triangles from your surface. So we're only going to grade inside here up to this contour. You know, we may grade over here, but grade it to fit. But if I want to remove triangles, you can come up to the surface tab. And what you can do is go to trim surface edge. And what this does, it lets you pick an outside point and an inside point. So if I pick outside here and I put my cursor inside of here, what it'll do is it'll remove all these triangles. Okay. Now I might want one just across there, but if I did, then if I undo and I do this again, I only go to here, it removes those, leaving me with just that one. All right, so maybe I don't want all those out there. And then you can come around here and do the same thing. You can trim these off, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave them just the way they are. And but like maybe in here, we want to trim that up, but this one we actually should add, right? So I'm gonna add this as a line. So I'm going to pick this and just drag this guy back across the back of the curb. That runs out. I'm going to add that as a surface member, which I should have done earlier. And here, again, these were those triangles. So if I go back to trim surface edge, I don't want these triangles. I'm just going to take this back, maybe inside of there, inside to our construction fence. And that way I don't get triangulation out in here, right? Same thing in here, maybe get rid of, I'll leave that one there because it does tie into there. All right, so that's just trimming up the edge. And then what we can do is basically go up to edge break line. And I'm going to call this FG edge boundary. It's going to use that break line and it's going to be finished ground. So I'm going to click OK. And now you can see what it does down here. It actually cleans up and smooths this out a little bit. Okay. So it's just giving us a boundary edge around our surface that cleans up these edges a little bit. So again, on the edges, you're going to, field grade anyways, so we're more concerned about what's happening inside the, a lot of it inside the curb line. We got our sidewalk and everything up here as well that's going to be tying in, accordingly. So, so with that, that's our data prep, right? Now I've got a surface, I've got my stakeout line work, and what I want to do now is send it out to the field. Now, there is one other thing, and I'll show it in the following video. Or actually, I'll go ahead and show it here. A lot of guys will like to create contours. So over here, you can create contours. You can create a contour at a specific elevation. But if I do the create contours, it's going to come up. It's going to, ask me for the name. It's going to ask me for my interval. A lot of guys will come in and again, when they're doing the data prep, maybe they bump this down to, like a 10th, and they're going to put it on a layer. So these would be my, DTM dash contours. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll set the color to, I'm just going to set it to this brownish color, and we'll protect it. And as far as a group goes, I'm going to put it on this DTM layer as well. Okay. Click close. And then here I can, show the two different colors. So if I want the index color to be one color, right? So let's make these light gray. So I'll come down here and just make those light gray. I'll make this one, let's make this a brownish color. You could do color by elevation. You can smooth them. You can apply text to those. It'll put labels on there. So if you don't want labels, what I would do is just bump this up and say, 1,000 feet between labels. Maybe just label the ends of the contours. But I can go ahead and put this, let's say every 500 feet, and click OK. And now you can see that I've got contours, some real dense ones. And what this does, it kind of shows me the direction of the surface here. So if I toggle off that, now I can see, what these contours look like and how they're shaped. Like here you can see it's following, that. Here I've got, some bumps. Maybe that's, needs to be fixed. Here I'm kind of maintaining that general slope. Again, these are like every 10th. So I got my high points in there. So it's kind of a way to look for, a lot of guys use this to look for spikes and any really bad anomalies in that surface. So what I can then do is just turn those contours off. You can redo them. So if I come onto the surface here, if I look at the properties, you can see here that I can change the properties. Instead of a contour interval of 1 foot, I could come over here and make it, or 0.1, I can make it 1 foot. And then what I would need to do is go back to my Project Explorer, right click on this and select rebuild contours. And you can see now I've got 1 foot contours. So this is one way I can see that I have, something going on here where my curb line is not coming directly over to there. So that's something that, again, this is why showing the contours I can come in and fix and say, well, wait a minute, something's not right. And if I turn on that surface now, so if I come down to my surfaces, turn that back on, I can come in here and take a look. So the first thing I'll do is, let's take a look at the bottom of this contour. So I'm going to go to this BC contour here, right click and edit. And I can see that if I go to vertical, I do have, so I have a bad vertical there. It should be 23, not 2382. So if I set it to 23, okay, now let's go back, rebuild the contours. Now you can see that it got rid of that. So it fixed that line there. Now what I need to do also is on this top back of curb is we want to make sure we edit that one. And I can see that I don't have an elevation point here. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to add an elevation point there, and that's going to be 23.5, which is good. And so now I'm good. But that's, something you want to look at. If I come down here, I can also see how this contour line is really going this direction. So what I can do here is use this swap triangle. And with that swap triangle, what I can do is start flipping some of these edges to change the direction of that contour. So now you can see that by flipping that, it goes this way. Now when I rebuild those contours, now it gives me a little bit better triangulation. So I want this contour to pull that way. So if I swap this one, right, so I come over here and I say swap edge. So I pick that one, maybe this one. And now if I rebuild those contours, you can see that it does it a little bit. And that one probably shouldn't have been done. So I'm going to come in here and swap that one back and then rebuild. And that gets me a little bit closer. I could put a brake line in there to pull this over. So again, just I may be overkill. I may be overanalyzing it. But just wanted to show you some of these additional tools for adjusting and tweaking the surface here.